Well, Stoddy, probably it's the marquee matchup of the season thus far, coming up against Brisbane Roar. Excited for it?
Yeah, absolutely. Top of the table clash, I think. Yeah, we can't wait to get into it and hopefully we can get the result.
Coming into this game off the back of a couple of hard-fought draws, against Sydney most recently on the weekends, how do you think the side's travelling heading into this game?
Yeah, I think we're doing well. We're continuing to build on our style of play, and things are starting to gel and click together. I think we need a little bit more cohesion, and then we're going to be a very dangerous team.
Because it's not often that a side will go ahead and win the premiership and then have a coaching change, but that's something that you've had to absorb at City. How do you find the transition from Dario to Michael has been as the season continues on?
Yeah, obviously Dario was a great coach, and we had such a good season last year. But Michael's been amazing. He came in and he's put his own little style on the way he wants us to play, and they're obviously very different. But Michael's a great coach as well. It's been good. It's been enjoyable.
Because obviously they both have possession-based football at the core of what they want to accomplish, but what are some of those differences?
I think Michael's very specific in individual movements, and so he's been working a lot with the attacking players, getting movements that he wants, and I think it's just about getting us on the same page so that the timing's right and the quality of the passes is a bit better, and then I think things will start to get real serious.
Because last season we were sort of in a situation where you were chasing down Sydney on the table, and eventually you pipped them on the last day of the campaign. This time around, you're top, you're the hunted. Is that a different feeling?
Not really. We don't really look at the table too much. Obviously, it is nice being up top, but it's a long season. So we just focus on each game each week and doing what we can to perform, and hopefully the result comes. But we want to be playing good football that is going to help us later down the season and in Champions League.
Because we've still got City and Melbourne Victory in that top four as well, but there's a couple of new sides in there as well. Western United and Sydney not having the same sort of campaigns that they had the past couple of seasons. Have you found the way the league, I guess, has changed this year? Is there, differences in the styles of play teams are playing? Of some teams, has the gap closed? How are you finding it?
Yeah, I think it's great. I think you've got teams like Adelaide who are a very good side, and I think they're up there in the top half of the ladder. It's good. You've got teams that might start bad, but it's never going to be an easy game against them. So it's very competitive, and you can't take any game lightly because each team has their own strengths and are dangerous.
And yourself, study up there at the back line, you're coming up against a side that has scored for fun in several of their games, putting eight past Western United. How do you go about trying to, well, shut down statistically, the league's best attack?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they are very dangerous. You can just see their results to see that they score goals. So obviously we want to be tight in defence and not leak anything. But it's going to take the whole team, 11 players. We're all defenders really. So we'll just try to shut it down as best we can.
Because Brisbane have shown that when they can get on a roll, they can score in bunches. Does the fact that City are a side sort of that have the ability to put their foot on the ball to dictate tempo give you a bit of an extra boost against a side like that?
Yeah, I mean, it will be an interesting game because I think Brisbane likes to do that as well. So it will be interesting to see how the possession stats go. But yeah, it should be an exciting one.
And forgive me for not being 100% certain on this, but Alex Smith, Roar's coach, was he at City? Did he cross over with you at City?
Yeah, for a little bit he was here. I
Yeah.
think Rado days. So yeah, I know Alex, and I think he's taken a lot from what he learnt here, and he's taken that to Brisbane. So they're playing a good style of football, and yeah, it'll be very interesting.
Because there's a few familiar ex-City players in that Brisbane Roar team as well. That bit of bragging rights on the line.
Yeah, absolutely. But at the end of the day, we wanna perform and play a good game of football and continue to build on what we're trying to do.
And maybe just shifting gears a bit, Stoddy, you've done pretty much everything there is to do in the A-League Women, except this season City are also in the AFC Women's Champions League. We saw the draw for that midweek, playing a Taiwanese side in the quarterfinals. I guess first, this new experience playing continental Asian football. What's that been like for you and the team?
Yeah, it was so cool to go to Thailand earlier in pre-season and compete against some international teams, which was good. Um, and yeah, I think it's just the opportunity. Players get exposure. There's prize money on the line, and it's something different. It's something players like you dream of doing, playing in an Asian Champions League. So it's so cool, and we're so happy to be a part of it, and we wanna do our club proud and do the best we can.
Because it's widely considered that the days of A League men's sides challenging to win the Champions League is probably in the rearview mirror for now. But City are being seen as a team that can absolutely win this competition. Is that something that you're talking about? Like this is a competition that is there to be won?
Yeah, I mean, we're not focusing on that every day, but it's definitely one of our goals is to win the Asian Champions League. We know that if we can do that, there might be different things on the horizon as well. So, yes, we have that as a goal, but we're still focusing on every day how we can be better to get more success.
Well, I guess then you've opened the door, so I'll ask it. What do you need to do better, not just against Brisbane throughout the rest, but throughout the rest of the season?
I think we need to clean up a little bit at the back. I think we've been conceding a few easy goals. If we can squash that out of our game, I think we'll be very hard to beat. And then I think, yeah, just the final third, getting a bit more creative and creating a lot more really, really good goal scoring opportunities.
And then just, I guess, last one from me, mate. Holly McNamara, we've seen her come back. It seems that she's having some sort of goal involvement within minutes of her being subbed on every time. Just how nice is it to have a weapon like that coming off the bench and knowing that sooner or later she's going to start, starting games as well?
Yeah, it's unreal. She's an incredible player, so talented. It's so good to have her back on the field with us. Her impact is so evident. But also, like, we have such a talented squad. We've got so much depth. So, being able to bring on Holly, bring on Lowe, whoever it is, they're going to come on and do a job for us. And I think as the season goes, we're just going to get more and more dangerous.